What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today in this video I'm just gonna be showing a few little things that I've learned from snorkeling a few bikes. Make a quick little video on it because I know I messed up a few times on the first bike I snorkeled, which was the 350. I messed up a few times on that, and I've learned a little bit going throughout the way. So yeah, I hope this helps somebody, and let's get into it. The first one is starting off when you go to get your supplies. Do not use clear or the white silicone. You want to get some black RTV, I think it's called. I'll pop up a picture of it right here. That's the first thing. You want to get you some black, not white or not any other color. You want black. It works the best. One thing I do want to say about that I forgot to mention is let your silicone, after you put it around your airbox and everything, so you'll sew around your airbox, and when you take it off, let it sit. Just let it sit. It don't have to be in the sun or nothing. Just let it sit and air dry for at least 12 hours. So it'll be nice and good and sealed and dry before you start doing anything else. Because I didn't let mine sit, and it was unsealed, and all the little things started cracking off. Like all the little beads around a silicone started cracking, and it unsealed itself. So I had to redo it. So make sure y'all let it sit. Then the next thing is, I know a lot of people on these 420s and the Foremans and Rubicons, they like to do 1.5 inch, or you have to do 1.5 inch coming out of your airbox. They do 1.5 inch coming out of the airbox, and they like to have 2 inch running up out of their plastics. The next thing with that is you have to have a rubber connector going from the 1.5 inch to 2 inch. So it'll be the 1.5 inch, then the 2 inch gets a little bit bigger. So it's kind of a weird coupling. And I've seen some people, and I've done it myself. They'll make it to where the 1.5 inch comes around this shock spring, and it meets the 1.5 inch will come to here and go to about right here. Then they'll have their coupling right here, and it'll go to 2 inch. You don't want to put your coupling up and down like that, because that makes it to where the 2 inch is a little bit bigger than the 1 inch, so it's not all the way, I guess you could say, stable. So it'll sit there and wobble, and that causes it to unseal. So with that being said, the next thing is, before you go gluing and siliconing all your pipe you have in place, you want to make sure it all fits perfect without siliconing or pipe gluing anything. Yeah, so you just kind of put up a mock-up of how it's going to be and make sure everything's right. You got all your measurements right before you go gluing and siliconing. The next thing is, I see a lot of people do is they will silicone their airbox lid. That's just dumb. Why? First off, you can't get it back off. And if a new airbox is like, I don't know, they're a couple $100 OEM airboxes. So don't silicone your airbox lid. I recommend getting an OMC seal, and if you can't get that, then get some dielectric grease, put a bead of dielectric grease around it. And dielectric grease is disgusting. It gets everywhere. It's hard to get off. So I do recommend getting an OMC seal to fix that problem. The next thing is, if you can help it, do not use flex pipe or that pull hose stuff that everybody's been using, because what it'll do is when you run it by your motor, a lot of them melt. Even with the heat tape on them, a lot of them melt, and it causes it to unseal. So that's why you use hard pipe, put heat tape around it, and it's stronger and it won't melt. And a tip on your vent lines when you're running your vent lines is, you have your gas vent line right here. It's not wanting to focus, but when you run it through, like you run it up to there and back through that hole, you make about 10 loops in it. Or you can, also another thing I do recommend is putting one-way valves on each of your vent lines and doing 10 loops in your gas one. So if you do sink your bike or something, it won't have enough, like, it'll go through the loops and it won't go all the way back into your gas tank, so you won't get water in your gas. And if you put the one-way valve on there as well, to be safe, it won't make it to your gas tank. It won't make it to none of your vent lines. And one more trick is to kind of see how and if it's siliconed is you'll start your bike, let it run, and if you have a fuel injected, you won't have to do no tuning to the carburetor or anything like that to get it to run with the snorkel perfectly. But you'll start it, and a lot of people put their hand over it. That's what I did, at least. Or you can order a smoke tester if you have the extra money. But put your hand over it, and if it cuts off immediately, it means it's most likely sealed, or sealed enough at least, where you won't get a full like bottom of the airbox full of water when you put it in water. But one thing I will say is don't put your hand over it and give it gas, because it'll like crack your airbox. One of my friends did it, and he had to buy a whole new couple $100 OEM airbox. So yeah, that's really it for this video, guys. I know it was a quick little just run through of a few things that I've learned, and y'all might learn some different things as y'all go along, but that's just a few things I've learned and I figured I'd share, and hopefully this helps somebody. So I thank y'all guys for watching. Go comment down below what y'all want to see next, any tips and tricks, anything like that. Go ask any questions, leave it in the comments. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. There goes a sight from my soul.